Hello everybody, welcome to my indie game spotlight for Qvadriga. Now this one is a little bit of an interesting one. It is a tactical chariot racing game. Yeah, after I heard that I scratched my head a bit, but after about 5 or 6 hours I can confirm this is a tactical chariot racing game, and a good one at that. It's very fun if you are a fan of strategy games. It's a nice breath of fresh air, something different for you to play, and definitely a very good strategy game. It's a little simple, but I think it's more complex than what you see right off the start, that's for sure. So let's get into it here. I'm going to be doing a little bit of the campaign here. Campaigns aren't really anything besides you start out at a certain city and then you try and gain fame there and move to other cities and pretty much dominate the chariot racing world. So let's start a campaign here, and you can see our guy down here, and this is the actual in-game graphics. This is what you're seeing, and I like that. I definitely like strategy games that don't focus on graphics, because you don't want to be focusing on graphics when you have strategy games. You want it to be focusing on the strategy aspect, and that's what this game does. Now, these are the factions, the classes, whatever you want to call them. Basically, you choose one, and you get unique stats based on what you choose, depending on, you might have a little bit of a stronger chariot, you might have stronger horses, or you might have a stronger rider. I don't actually know the name of the rider off the top of my head. They use the olden language slang, but I'll just call it rider for the sake of, you guys, as well as myself, understanding. But you can see that these are, if you hover over anything, it will give you information on it. So the Roman army provides the best trained Arigas. I think those are the riders, or Arigas. Tough and skilled, as well as strong horses. So yeah, definitely the riders, because it mentions horses. The priests always choose perfection on their teams, muscle men, fast chariots, and fine horses. And then you got a lot of different things here. You got race nobles, spend all their money, yada yada yada. Only the toughest manages to compete for the commoners, traders, and then I think the politicians. So I think I am going to choose the politicians. Why? No real reason. I think they're all pretty balanced in terms of ability, but definitely if you are thinking about the strategy of the game, you are going to want to choose one based on where you're going to go, and I will explain more of that as we go here. So I need to enter my team name, so I'm going to call it Circus, because it sounds olden, I guess, and we are going to start here. Actually, I didn't show you something there. You can choose dynamic campaign if you want, and basically what I'm playing right now is turn-based. If you choose dynamic, you have a time slot to choose your turn, essentially, so it's not much different. Now, this is where we choose where we want to start. Now, each place has its own unique abilities if you want to start there. So, for example, if we go to Macedonia and we go to Nicopolis, I'm hoping I'm saying these half right, we see that herbalism half price for medical services. So if our horses get hurt, if our riders get hurt, medical services are cheaper. But if we keep going around here, we'll find something different. Free travel between cities and circuses, so you can see that anywhere around here is free travel. You do actually have to pay if you want to go around. So we are going to go to Italy, or Italia, and livestock half price for veterinarian services. So if you need to help your horses, and then we got Thuga. Chariots are 25% cheaper, so if you want to buy a chariot there, as you can see, each place has its own unique buffs, essentially, so you choose one that you want. I want to go back and see the whole map if I can. I should show you right now that the bottom line on these names is actually the track layout. So you can see that this one is straight and there's no ends on it. I think that means you start out and then you run down the track, and there's two different types of tracks. There's oval tracks, and then this one where you all start out at the end and then kind of squish in together, and you still do an oval, but it's a much longer track. So maybe if I can find another one here, you'll see the difference. Okay, you can see that these ones are smaller ovals, and it shows the size as well. So Alexandria is much bigger than this one. I can't even pronounce that word. But you can see that there's a lot of different tracks. Alright, so I'm going to go to Serene, I'm going to stop talking, and we're going to get into some actual gameplay here. So my local fame is unknown. Obviously, I just joined here. My global fame is definitely unknown. It gives you a little bit of information here. If I win, I get 3,600 denarius. And then it goes down. As long as you finish, you get 600 denarius. And honestly, finishing is very, very hard. So I wouldn't say go for winning at the start. Definitely go for at least finishing and not damaging your chariot, horses, and human enough to the fact where you're losing money. I've actually played through about, oh, it has to be at least 6 or 7 campaigns now and failed each and every one of them before getting very far at all. So hopefully I can at least finish a race for you guys, because there's a lot of thinking that's involved. I mean, you wouldn't think about it, but there definitely is. Now this shows the global known leaders as well as the city leaders, all that stuff, and then it says the city bonus, and then a little a backstory of the city. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause it. And now this is essentially where we set up. As you can see, we have 3 chariots here. Sorry, this is actually the human slot. So you can see our humans have a skill, makes tight curves easier to take, and improves outcomes from crashes and lacerations. So keep that in mind when you're racing. Your humans are, I don't know what they're called, I forget already, but I'm just gonna call them humans or riders. And keep that in mind though, your riders are definitely better at turning, so you can take the inner lane better than most. And then our chariots improve acceleration, as well as they are heavier chariots, cause and resist more damage. So bashing might be a good idea with these chariots. Now, unfortunately, our horse don't have any buffs at all. We have to keep that in mind. They're not very fast. They're pretty much the bottom tier. Now, sometimes you can get good deals on actual buffed horses here, so you might want to pick one up. You can see that we have a buff chariot here, the same chariots as ours, as well as a Hori, who is the same as our current guys, and Ramisu, who doesn't have a buff at all, so he's much cheaper, and he's not as good. So, not much to choose right here, as we don't have anything different. All of our chariots are the same. Again, as you start playing, you can pick and choose what you want for your chariots and upgrade them as you go. But as you can see, we don't have any upgrades here, and we have no money anyway. So let's go to race. All these are ready to go. None are damaged, so we're just going to hit the first one here and get into the race. Now, there's an event at the start of every race. Only members of your faction are involved in this race. So this one's a very boring event, actually. There's actually really cool events. Like, sometimes there will be a drunk crowd, for example, and if you go on the outside lane, they'll throw tomatoes at you, and that actually killed me once because I got hit with a tomato. Things like that. Very cool, as well as, like, there was one, for example, that there was bad water or something, and my horse drank it, and he wouldn't listen to me all the time. Things like that. It's very cool. You can also bet here. I don't have any money, but if you think you're going to win the race, you can bet and gain a lot more money than just the actual prize pool. So, oh, this is actually the long tracks, which is good, because these ones are a lot more interesting. So you can see we all start out the end here, as I was trying to explain before. Looks like there's only 6 in this race. I've had races up to like 16. So this is a very short track. Should be fun, but we do need to get a good start to get a good time here. I don't know actually how many laps there is. I think you can see right here. Yeah, this guy, every time the leader goes around this corner, he drops one of these things down, and that's the way you see how far you are into the race. So, the small track here, very fun. We have a middle lane, which isn't too bad, so I am going to whip my horse for the first turn, if you will. Now, whipping my horse will make it go faster. So you can actually see what the other teams do too. This guy whipped, and all the other guys just shake their reins, I think. So we're getting a little bit of a head start here, but as you can see, I am going to hurt my horses. This is actually their energy bar. So I actually thought it was health initially, but this is their energy bar. So you want to keep that up, but whipping it risks dropping it, but whipping it obviously will give them that boost of power. So I'm in the front here. I'm going to just shake my reins here, and I'm going to see what everyone else has done. So the middle lanes are whipping. That's actually a very scary idea, because once they get around that first turn, it's going to be a very tight turn. This is a very, very small track. I've never actually played one this small. So having only 4 lanes is very interesting. So we're just going to accelerate again. I think that's probably the best idea. People who get ahead right now, it doesn't really matter, because one turn can change that all. If you take the inner lane very slow, it's often the best idea, because just of how much shorter the track is if you're on the inner lane. So I actually want to see. So if you see, you get a good judgment of what you're going to do at the turn over here. That's red, so that's actually scary. I don't want to slow down right now, but I'm just going to put my control on. I should probably explain some of these to you as you can start to see them now. So this little arrow changes left or right lane. You can have the option to change lanes. You also have the option to change multiple lanes. If we are on a 6-lane course, for example, you'll get an extra one with 3. So you can have a medium displacement and then a large displacement. You can essentially choose how many lanes you want to go in or out. This lacerate will attack opponents to the left or right of me. This is the crash button, so as you remember, I have a stronger chariot, so I could actually crash this guy if I wanted to, but generally, I don't want to damage myself right now. I want to get as much money as possible, so I'm only going to damage people if I see it beneficial. His stuff is really not worn out right now, so there's no real point to try and kill him because he's not going to be falling if I just lacerate him once. And then the same here, we have a left minor displacement, a lacerate, and then a bash, and then the simple movement control. So this is ensure stability, so that's what I'm probably going to be doing, because as you can see, once I hit that corner, it's going to be red, and that means I could topple over. And then watch avoids aggression. It doesn't really avoid it, but I think there's a less of a chance of you getting lacerated, for example. And then this will actually brake and slow down. Definitely a useful utility. Don't be afraid to brake. And then whip, you've already seen that. Just gives you an extra boost of acceleration. So we are going to do control, and hopefully I'll slow down a bit by the time I get to that corner, and I won't risk actually falling over. Now, I am going to be assuming this corner goes okay. Very well out ahead, I think. I'm actually thinking about slowing down a bit here just to be safe. Again, I don't want to finish first right now. I don't really care if I finish first as long as I keep my chariot, my horses, and my character, because those things are really expensive to buy. So I'm going to slow down, actually. As you can see, even going slower, I'm keeping up with the head guy anyways. And now that I'm around this corner, they're obviously going faster than me, but I can whip here and keep up, assuming no one changes into my lane, which no one did. I got very lucky here. I have the inside lane. This is a very good position for me, and you can see this guy just bashed him. So let's see. We are actually at orange here, so I feel safe with orange, so I'm just going to control, ensure stability, and play safe. These guys are all fighting each other. I'm just going to let that go. He actually killed that guy, so now that's basically... Oh, his chariot just fell as well. Those will stay on the track. You do not want to hit those because they can kill you. And as well as his horses will stay on the track. If you get behind them, they can slow you down, so you just want to play it safe. Now, I'm thinking about whipping here, but I'm worried that if I get enough speed, I could fall over if I start whipping here. So I think I'm just going to ensure stability. Actually, that's good because I just went to the outside lane because I was going so fast, so it just automatically turned me to the outside lane. Now, I'm thinking about whipping this guy, maybe? No, you know what? I think... Hold on. Yeah, I am going to whip. This is probably going to put me into the turn, but I'm on one of the outside lanes. Oh, crap, of course. And he bashed me as well. Really hurt my horse there. And ruined my whole strategy here because now I'm going to be way behind. Now that I'm going really slow, I'm actually going to go into the first lane here and hopefully get some speed around this turn because of how much shorter it is. Now, he fell off his chariot. He can still hold on. This is where this game gets really interesting. Things like this, he could try and hold on. He risks killing himself. Or he could get off, and he has to actually run outside of the stadium without getting trampled over. If he gets trampled over, he dies. So he's in a very sticky situation right now, but he's actually confused, so he can't use his turn until he stops becoming confused. So for right now... Oh, crap, I didn't think I would go to the outside lane. I'm going to hit him. I might actually kill him here. Yeah, okay, so I hit him. Didn't want to actually do that. How fast am I going? As you can see, if we look up ahead, I think that chariot is either on the outside lane or on my lane. So I'm going to want to go in at least one. I think I'm going to go in one lane here. I'm going much slower. Okay, he just died, but his horses are still going to be running around. I'm going to have to figure out... We have one more lap here. I think I might... No, I think I'm just going to ensure stability here. And then really risk it around these last two turns because I need to get up these placements if I want to get a good reward. Obviously, my main focus, though, is to just finish. Now, my horses are not doing very well. They are very tired. My inside one's alright, but he's trying to hold up everyone else who's almost dead, essentially. So even whipping them right now isn't going to help me too much. But if I can get some good speed around this corner, maybe I can try and hopefully beat this guy. I don't think I'm going to keep up to these guys, but I do have a chance of at least coming in third. I'm going to actually keep whipping here. I'm going to risk it. I don't want to kill my horses, because then that will cost me 1,000 to buy a new horse as well. I might actually turn into the front of this guy, just to make sure. He might be turning, though. But if I can... Yeah, there we go. I bashed him, slowed him down. But his horses are doing a lot better than me. So if he stops being unconscious, he could easily pass me here, if I don't do the right thing. It depends on how much time we have. I think I'm going to get third. Yeah, I should definitely get third here. There's no doubt about that. I have third in the bag. So I'm just going to control, ensure stability. Now you can see he's coming up to me really quickly, but this is the last turn. And I took third. Actually, I'm very happy with third, because usually I'm either dead by now or taking something like last, especially with these low-tiered horses. So third's actually really good. That's going to actually give me a lot of money to play around with in the future. Okay, so I got 900 denarius now. Now that just gives you an example of how hardcore this game is. You saw how many chariots were crashed, how many humans died there, and how many horses were lost. That only gave me 900 denarius. Buying a new human, or a new rider, is 3,000. A new chariot, 2,400. A full set of horses, 2,000. So you really want to be careful here. You're given 3 characters at the start. You can actually sell these characters for half the price, too, if you want to truly upgrade. But I'm actually going to repair my chariot for 200, as well as care for my horses. And that left me with a 250 denarius profit for coming in third on I think it was a 6-player race. So kind of gives you the example of how hard it is to truly get ahead in this game. I really like that, though. With a strategy game, you don't want to be, you know, spoon-fed everything. This is really, really fun to me. We're going to do one more race here, and then we might try and travel, maybe, and do something else here. Now, I'm actually going to bet here, because why not? I'll just bet something small, like 25. So if I bet 25 denarius and I win, I get 150. So whips removed. Wow, that's interesting. So I can't lacerate my horses, and I can't whip to the side of me. All you can do is shake your reins and move side to side. That's actually going to be a very boring experience for you guys, so hopefully we'll do it really quickly here. We are on the outside lane, which couldn't be worse for me, because on the outside lane you can just keep whipping and whipping and whipping, but I don't have my whip now, so I'm going to want to get into the inside lane as quick as possible. We are not going to be going very fast as compared to most races here. So, yeah. Kind of a weird option to have no whips, but you can actually lose your whip too. I attacked a guy, and I broke my whip doing so. So things like that often happen. There's, like I stated, there's a lot more to this game than meets the eyes, I think. I think a lot of people would see this and go, wow, that looks really boring. But if you really sit down and analyze it, there's so much you can do in terms of strategy here. So we are going to go with a major displacement here. I don't know why he would want to be going on the outside, so he actually blocked me. So I'm in the third lane, which is fine. That lane's going really slow. How are my horses? My horses are pretty even, which is interesting. Usually, I think the inside horse should be the strongest, but I have really even horses. This guy has even horses as well. This guy is a really strong inside horse, as well as pretty even horses throughout the rest. Now, I think I'm going to take this not for speed, but try and get into the inside lane. Obviously, I can't right now, but I'm going to want to go slower and get into the inside lane. I think that's the best strategy here without a whip. Not relying on a whip is very, very stressful. These guys are both watching, and I'm just going to make sure I don't fall. This guy's, you can see, he might actually break his cart here. Oh, I actually damaged my horse, and he damaged his cart. I didn't think I was going around that fast. So now I can actually get into the inside lane now and really try and strategically do this. This guy fell back there. He's already out of the race, basically, anyways. But this is going to be actually a very close race. Now, that is scary. I don't want to slow down right now, but if I don't slow down, I risk getting into this red zone. So I'm actually going to go back out to the third lane. The further you go out, the less chance you have of flipping over. Obviously, if you're in the inside lane, it's a much tighter curve than this lane. You can see that it's orange now. So as long as I control my stability, I should be fine throughout here. And I actually went all the way to the outside lane, so I'm going to try and go back in again. I'm going to be doing a lot of lane changing here, because I think that's the best option for me right now. We're going to go all the way back inside. He only did one lane. This guy's trying to bash this guy. I really hope they fight for a bit, because that would be great for me. Now, again, I'm red, so I really should stop doing this because it's not working out for me. I'm just going to go back out to the third lane again. This guy's going back out to the fourth, which is good for me. Oh, crap, there's a Chariot there. Hopefully I get to my turn before I hit that. And my Chariot flipped over. I didn't think I was going that fast. Now you can see that I have the options to escape, run away from track, or hold on. Now, if I run away right now, I'm going to get trampled over, so I unfortunately got to hold on, and I risk dying once I go over this Chariot here. But if I tried to run out, I would have died there. So now that he's beside me, I can run out, assuming this guy doesn't kill me. But I should be able, I think they run pretty fast, so I'm going to escape. There we go. And unfortunately, crashed, lost that race. But at least I didn't lose my character. So we're going to go back to the city here. Now that was unfortunate, but that's going to happen a lot. You have to really get used to this game. Turning is crucial. You really have to get used to slowing down when you don't want to. Because even if you're in third, you're going to flip on that turn if you're going fast. So we're going to go to manage here. I might actually see if I can change my city. Travel, not enough local fame to travel yet, unfortunately. So let's actually just go back and try a different track to get you a different feel for other places. Alright, I'm just going to choose a single race here. I'm not actually doing the campaign. We're just going to change to something else here. I like the priests because they have really good men and fast chariots and fine horses. So it's a good mix of buffs. I think every one of them has a little bit of a buff. So if we can I choose? I can choose my own track. So let's try and find something bigger here. You can see the size difference of the tracks. I really like this option. It doesn't really explain that to you, but once you start playing, you realize that, oh, that's the actual track that we're going to. So Siena. Wait, was I there? I don't even know. Caesarea Island. No, I want to do an actual circular track. Let's do that one. And you know what? We'll do dynamic just so you can see the difference. Now, I had it on normal difficulty. And I've always been playing this on normal difficulty. And it is definitely very complex. But there's also hard and very hard. So if you want a true, really difficult experience, you have an option to do that here. So we are going to... wait, can I can actually buff these if I want? Oh, okay, because I'm in a single race, I can actually buff my horse and all my things if I want to. It looks like I did that. Okay, so let's go race with slightly buffed horses and whatever. Oh, there we go. That's much more like it. How many do you got here? We have a 16-player race. Now, where am I? I am right here. So we are going to accelerate because we are in the back here. And if I whip my horse, I would just run into the guy in front of me anyways. So, oh crap, I forget, this is dynamic. I actually don't play dynamic, so you can see at the top, that's how much time you have to choose your turn. It's actually a much quicker experience, so if you do prefer that, definitely do this. But honestly, it doesn't give you very much time to think. And with a strategy game, you really want to think. Now, this turn, I think I'm just going to hold my reins. It doesn't even show me the turn. So I don't know if I'm going too fast or not. I'm just holding on for dear life. And it looks like that is okay. Now I'm going to whip my horse here. And wow. This is a way different experience. I've never actually... I played it right when I got the game, that dynamic. But in terms of playing it recently, never done it. So it's really weird and an odd feeling. But I do like it. It's constant. It's non-stop. So if you want a quick experience, then this is the way to go. So I'm just going to shake my reins. I'm just going to stick to this outside lane. Maybe I should bash this guy. Yeah, I'm going to bash this guy if I can. Oh, crap. He's going to be gone away, so... I just essentially wasted that turn, because he doesn't do anything if there's no one to bash. Now I'm going to try and actually move into the inside lane, because this guy's really slowing me down. And of course he moves into, but at least we blocked the guy behind me who actually tried to whip. You know what? I might go way far in here, see if I can do some risky moves here. Wow, everyone is following me, but at least I went in one more. Now whip. Oh, I don't know if this might be not enough space though, because I want to slow down before that turn. Okay, so I am. Oh, this is gonna be close. Now that guy's actually got spikes in his chariot. I've never actually seen one with spikes. Definitely slowed down too soon, actually. I think I'm just going to hold this speed, though, because I am on an inside lane. But this track is much bigger than what I expected. I thought I was going to be at the turn right there, but it's looking like I'm just going to be wasting time, essentially, here. But I think I'm in, like, second or third, so I'm not really complaining right now. Now, there's a dead horse on the track, and of course, I'm sliding out, and I'm going to be running over that dead horse. Okay, well, I'm okay, that's fine. So let's whip again. This guy's getting way ahead. There's actually a few guys ahead now. But, so far, not too bad. This is really hard to commentate over because it's constant. I can't even, like, analyze what I'm doing. I'm trying my best to do the best options. I did actually miss my turn there, but I didn't want to do anything anyways. I'm going to go in one side, hopefully before I hit him and slow down. Of course. Well, at least I don't have to worry about the turn now. I actually might move in once more, too. And keep this slow. I actually don't even know what place I'm in anymore because everyone's so spread out. You can see that this guy lost his horse. So, as you can see, a lot of things happen to these chariots. It's not just, you know, race and whoever wins, wins. No, sometimes you have one horse at the end of the race. I've actually won when I fell over. So, this game is very, very fun. And I have to say, give it a chance and don't just analyze it by its graphics. Oh, crap. So, how many laps do we have left? I'm assuming this is probably the end. Either this turn or next turn. Yeah, we got one more. I'm actually going to risk it here. And hopefully slow down before the end of the turn. Because that was the middle of the track, so I'm only going to assume I have enough time here to slow down. Oh, God. God, slow, 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 slow! Oh, my God. Perfect. Perfect. That couldn't have went any better. And we are going to whip again. How are my horses doing? My horses are just fine, so I can keep whipping them all I want. That guy went a bit too quick around that turn, but he might actually be able to hold on till the end of the race, because I think this is the last lap. Oh, no, don't slow down. Oh, I almost clicked the wrong one. That was close. I'm actually really curious what place I'm in now. I've been passing people. People have been passing me. Nothing in this. I like this UI, though. It doesn't really explain anything to you. The only tells you get are the actual people on the track, just as you would in real life. So you kind of have to really analyze. Now, I think, now that I'm looking at this orange bar means, oh, shit. Oh, yeah, I fell over, but this is the last turn. Unfortunately, I'm going to hit this guy. I can't turn now. All I can do is hold on. This guy ahead of me, hopefully I can kill him, because I want to hold on for as long as possible. I hope I can make it to at least finish, but I'm not gonna have a good finish now. My health, I'm yellow right now. I just killed him, so I don't have to worry about him finishing ahead of me. But I still have to endure for quite a much longer time. This is gonna be very interesting, to say the least. If I could, oh, there we go. Come on. Oh, this guy's flying. He's gonna pass me. I think I'm like 5th or 6th now, at least. But I think I should be able to do it. I don't think unless somehow I die in the last 5 feet. But I'm gonna win. But I'm gonna finish as I stated, I've done this before, and I did it again. I finished without my chariot. Holy crap! It doesn't even say what place I finished in. I don't even know what my name was. I'm going to say I have no idea what place I finished in. No idea. That was really fun though. That was a good time. So yes, guys, that was Qvadriga in a nutshell. Obviously, the campaign's a bit more complex, and the game is definitely more complex, but I hope I gave you a good overview of at least the starting of the game and what it's all about. Let me know if you like this. If you want to see more on my channel, I might do a bit more. Who knows? So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.